Welcome to this session of the Birds and Bees Festival with Regina Garr of Bird's Eye View in Jefferson City. I'll let her introduce herself if she'd like, but this is all about attracting Orioles to your yard, and who doesn't want Orioles in their yard? So without further ado, thank you very much for being here, Regina. And
thank you for having us. So I'm going to go ahead and probably start right off with the share screen, Ethan, so that we can start into the program and welcome everyone. Let me go ahead and share and get that on. All righty. I'm excited about telling everybody about Orioles, and my husband Steve and I, who own Bird's Eye View, we do these programs to encourage people to bring nature to their yards so they can enjoy it. One of the questions we get most about the Orioles is, why do I want to attract them if they're just passing through? So our programs lately have been considerably about getting Orioles spring and summer. So I'm going to try, usually this program's an hour long. We're going to try to do it in 15 minutes. But the first slide I had here, just so that you can see the, we're talking about attracting the gorgeous adult male Baltimore Oriole, but also having them nest close enough that in the lower left-hand side of the screen, you can see them feeding babies. And in the right-hand lower left, you see them feeding the young ones coming to the feeder themselves. So basically here in Missouri, we're going to see the Baltimore Orioles and the Orchard Orioles. For folks that did not know, they are members of the blackbird family. We usually start our Oriole programs with a question or two. Who loves Orioles? Everybody says yay. Who loves blackbirds at their feeder? And everybody not so much. But Orioles are gorgeous blackbirds. So do we have Orioles here? We get that question no matter where we do a program across the country. And yes, we do. Baltimore and Orchard Oriole, you can see the dark orange areas where they actually breed. And so we have lots of Orioles in our area. The Baltimore Oriole seems to be the one that folks see the most. I have a little bit of just, data on them, but I also have that in the PDF that I put for the program. And same for the Orchard Oriole. That Orchard Oriole is smaller. And what you're seeing in both of these slides was the adult males. We're going to take a look in a little bit how different the immature males can look and how differently the females can look. But the Orchard Oriole is the smallest Oriole that we have. The Baltimore Oriole, their breeding habitat is so conducive to suburbs, and that's nice because that's one of the reasons that people see them frequently, and that they can have them all summer long. So the Baltimore Orioles, here's some pictures of the females and the males. If you'll look at the top picture, the female on the left there, and then the adult male, he doesn't start out looking that way. When he comes back the first season, frequently he doesn't look quite as bright and orange and with that pattern. One thing to notice though is on the lower right hand picture, that adult male, if you look at his tail feathers, you can see orange, what we call orange corners. We'll look at that a little bit more. And it's one of the things that you can look at when the rest of the bird's plumage hasn't filled in. You can look at that and know that it's, a male, even a young male, and not a female. Here's a first-year male Baltimore Oriole. Compare that to the adult male that you just saw here. You can still see the orange on each side of those tail feathers. But a lot of people, we think a lot of people don't even realize they have Orioles in their yard when this bird comes. The other significant, thing I think with the adult males is you can see that orange shoulder that he has that frequently you don't see in the females. So here we've got some comparisons with the orchard oriole. And the adult female orchard oriole is kind of described as a lemony kind of color in the top left there. The lower left has, lower left and right has the adult male orchard oriole. Look how different he looks than the first spring, first summer male orchard in the top right hand corner of the screen. It almost looks like a different species. Many people think it is. One of the most unique and interesting things about the Orioles that come in is the first year male orchard oriole. That bird will eventually look like the two birds in the bottom of the screen. So attracting Orioles to your yard, a variety of food sources is always what we say attracts the Orioles early on. Most people put out nectar, and when they first come in, nectar is a great idea. It's, you know, high in sugar, and they like that. But there's so many alternative food sources you can use that actually will help keep them in your yard. Everything from mealworms to, of course, jelly and fruit, different forms of suet products, even homemade. Even peanuts out of the shell, of course, sunflower hearts and sunflower meats. Natural food is, of course, great and a great way to have them come and stay. Flowering trees are going to produce nectar that the Orioles want, but also insects that they want. And of course, you can't beat the allure of moving water combined with the nectar trees and the food sources. When you combine those, not only are you going to draw the Orioles to that, but you have the added bonus of getting cedar waxwings and all the different warblers. So sometimes you want to say, what do we actually know about the birds in our yard? Our Orioles that we consider spring and summer birds. Here's a photograph of one in December at a heated bird bath in mid-Missouri. But not to be outdone, here's one at my house this past February 10th and 11th, just before the deep freeze. This bird came through. And it was on the 11th, it was there, and then it left. But these are very interesting pictures, I think, because this is in, snow everywhere. The adult male Baltimore Oriole at our Sunflower Hearts feeder with a goldfinch kind of looking at it, wanting to know what's going on. Same way with the next shot, he's actually eating the sunflower hearts and at the bird bath. So one of the questions we get a lot is, why do my Orioles always go to my hummingbird feeders? Frankly, they see a lot more hummingbird feeders from Mexico to Canada than they see Oriole feeders. They will definitely use both, and it's a lot easier for them to use the Oriole feeders, but they know that those hummingbird feeders have nectar in them. So sometimes people just go with that and take out the yellow flowers and give them, a place to drink. Other times, they try to encourage them to eat from the ones that they can eat from. So when they first come in, we try to give them a variety of foods. In addition to the nectar, they will eat, jelly and fruit, mealworms, suet, sunflower hearts. You can see in one of these pictures, an adult male Baltimore Oriole kind of lining up the live mealworms to take to a nest because he's nesting in the area. Lots of different ways to offer lots of different types of food. And one of the nice things about the live mealworms, because 70 to 90% of an oriole's diet is insects, they come to it readily, and they don't tend to attract the bees the way jelly and nectar do. So keeping ants out is important. Anytime you have sugar, you're going to be attracting ants. So the water barriers that don't have any oil or any pesticides in them is a big help in keeping the ants out. And keeping the food covered is very helpful too. So caged feeders work really well to keep starlings and grackles from getting all that food that you put out for the orioles. A lot of times we'll put a stick inside the feeder to give perch area. I can't say enough good things about perch area close to the feeders to help the orioles find it. Here's an immature bluebird and an immature Baltimore oriole in a feeder together. You get a lot of bonus birds when you feed orioles, tanagers in particular. And in the Bird's Eye View bird garden, we do put out a lot of food for the orioles, but also nesting material, plants that are going to attract caterpillars and plants for nectar. So all of those things combined make a great habitat for the orioles. Just as a reminder, when people think all the orioles have gone away because they come in the spring and then they don't see them, what we call fall migration for the orioles is around August 1st to mid-September. So if you did take your oriole feeders down, and you shouldn't, then put them back out. And then here's just a little shot of orioles just a couple days ago, orchard orioles, the female on top and the male on the bottom, in the Bird's Eye View bird garden here. And these are both adults, and you can definitely see that they're orchard orioles. And actually, I think that's my last slide, but I do have a little video that I wanted to show you that you can hear some of the clicking and some of the sounds that they make. Folks tend to want to just hear the birds make the noise that they hear on their app. And in particular, the orioles make so many different sounds. One of the things, if you hear that clicking noise they just made here, one of the things we've enjoyed watching, that female oriole just left with a mouthful of worms to go feed babies. The male was clicking to tell her he was coming, and they're taking turns going back and forth to the nest and calling to each other as they do that. Here's an adult male that's getting ready to leave to go to the nest. He's kind of looking around because there's a lot of other birds that are coming in here to get the worms as well. And not long after he leaves, you will see the female show up, and she'll get more worms while he feeds the babies, and then she'll come back. But there's a lot of communication that happens. That's a male that's not part of the pair. And you'll see the female, the nesting pair female, come, and she doesn't like him. She was okay with the other guy. But that's just a little something I wanted, everyone to see, because there's a lot to watching the orioles in your backyard. Not just attracting them and seeing the adult male Baltimore oriole come through. So I might go ahead and just let that play. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and I may be, make sure I get everybody. There we go. Ethan, there.
Yes,
So
that was great, Regina. Thanks.
So I'm ready to take some questions because I'm probably just about at 15 minutes. I did want to promote Doug Tallamy's books, the Nature's Best Hope. that, talks so much more about all the things you can do to get native birds to your yard. And so this is a fantastic one. His book, The Nature of Oaks, is fabulous. And of course, Bringing Nature Home, which honestly is so hard to come by. I don't have one right now, but great books, to learn more about all the birds.
I saw that you had one, I think, in your store at one point. I guess you sold it, but
we try to stock it, but they were back ordered the last time.
wow. I see one question in chat here. Diane Benedetti asks, the Oriole nectar feeders, I assume maybe the ones with the hats, I'm not sure, that you showed are fabulous. Do you have them available at the Bird's Eye View store?
Probably. Honestly, we stock a lot of the flat Oriole feeders. We sell tons of those because they also will utilize, you can use jelly and oranges and suet and a variety of things on it. So the one we call the Oriole Fest that was in a lot of those slides holds nectar and other food substances as well, and that's our all-time favorite one.
Okay, we see, please name the books again and show them on screen. Could you do that again?
Sure.
Also, this will be recorded and the recording will be available for registrants, just so you know. But,
okay. Nature's Best Hope and The Nature of Oaks and Bringing Nature Home, which I don't have, but I think I know someone that will. I think Doug Talamy will have that. Very good. Oh, and I need to promote a little book. This is by Stan Tequila. It is just a tiny little book called Orioles in the Backyard Bird series. It's like $6.95 and it's just packed full of good information. It's nice to have a little book that has a lot of information in it, and that's a good one. So, and then of course we have our brochure that we downloaded that we tried to pack as much stuff in as we could.
Yes, I saw that is available through the app or on your browser. Just go to the session. You'll see that that's available. Also, Steve and Regina will be doing another presentation on homes for birds. And also they have, I think you have an exhibitor booth as well. Is that correct, Regina?
Yes, we do a neglected exhibitor booth right now, but we're going to work on that. But yes, we do have an exhibitor booth, and we invite everybody to take a look at our website. Of course, we have an educational page on our website too.
So people have 2 more opportunities to engage with Steve and Regina Garr of Bird's Eye View at one of the sessions or at the exhibitor booth. And then, of course, you'll be able to know where to find them as well. I'm not seeing any more Q&As, and I'm not seeing any more chats. We had quite a few people piled in on this one. And so I hope to see you all later. And thank you very much, Regina. As always, it was just, I always learn something from you.
Aren't you sweet? Thank you for having us. We appreciate it. And Steve's looking forward to seeing everybody, I think at 9 o'clock on Saturday. Thanks, Ethan.